Okay, if we look at the Venus, take Venus and the Sun together, but the Venus is conjunct the Sun, both in Virgo in the 8th house, ruled by the Mercury, which is there. So Mercury certainly predominates, but the need to be appreciated, to have financial security, to not be in debt to anybody. Like, that's the 8th house. Let's do business. Let's make business. This could make business. You're going to see this is a good deal. This could go with these energies. We put these energies together. This could put these ideas together. She's very psychologically perceptive, but charming too. She has this charm. When she wants something, she'll see it. When someone, it's setting. So if someone gives her, appreciates her, someone likes her, or pays her well, she's going to respond really well. Almost if someone does, but as soon as someone doesn't like her, or there's some aversion or some non-appreciation, it's going to affect that Venus Sun. She's going to be very, very sensitive to that. And as soon as that's so like, if she were living with somebody and the guy was making money, no problem. She's aligning, no problem. But if the guy suddenly didn't have money and couldn't carry it, her Venus Sun would be inclined to carry it for the guy. Especially when you look at the aspects, the Venus squares, the Neptune square the Venus and the Sun. This is the big aspect. The Mars also squares it. So Mars squaring the Sun and the Venus imply impulsive relationships and a certain assertiveness, and it's say oversexed, overcharged, overassertive. We'll push for things a little too strong. And by pushing that strongly, trying to do that strongly, it diminishes how much reward one gets. So she might try and do too much. Mars in the 5th might do too much for the partner, or to do everything to take care of them. Might do it. Well, we could be together. We could trust. We could be here. So we doing too much. And then Neptune squares it. So, and Neptune opposes the Mars. So it's not. She even though she's very discriminating, she has a gullible side. When someone's nice to her, she can't see. When someone gives her the special interest or flatters her, she's gullible. That's the Neptune. She's not sure what she wants. Could easily be tempted. Oh, this is beautiful. This is nice. But at the same time, the minute something is not nice, not beautiful, not appreciative, not worthy, her Venus Sun is going to feel this is an important issue. I'm not being worthy. Somebody's not valuing me, whatever. And then it's going to be a lot of confusion and complications that tie into this. So having to get her own financial reality, self-reliance from the Venus to Neptune, and social independence around reliable people. Because this 8th house, 11th house, the 11th house is friends, the 8th house is the energies of togetherness. So in a marriage or in a partnership, how much of the energy goes to your friends or to his friends? It's rarely even what gets traded off. So she's gullible to peer pressure and to trust and to social position. She could over-dedicate with the Mars there, overwork, overdo things, and then end up not with the return that she expected. She could try to do too much for someone, and then if they pull away, she responds to people, so that works fine, but she would have trouble dealing with any rejection or someone pulling away. When an Aries wouldn't accept it, she want to be fixing it, but the setting, it would tend to be trying to align or trying to help to make it better. So Neptune, that's where the gullibility somewhat comes in. It's how you think it's coming to the Venus and the Sun. So trying to find what she should do. She's not sure what she can do. She's capable of doing many things, not sure what it is, where does she fit in, where does she belong. A trustworthy cause, Sun in the 8th house to Venus, a trustworthy cause, a noble cause would really allow for a dedication to make her chart shine. And through writing for a good cause, she could be very strong, but if she's not aligned to a good cause and she has lesser causes, it's going to affect her confidence. Okay. So we kind of took Sun and Venus together. We looked at the main, and in a way, the Mars. We look at the Mars. Mars, what am I going to do? I have to do things. She got the Moon in Aries impulsive. She got the Mars in Gemini. I'm doing my own thing. And to Virgo, she's strong. It's active, but it squares Venus. She just pushes for what she wants, but can push too hard. And again, the Neptune's the mixed signals of who's a friend, who's a lover, what do I do, what's supposed to do, what should I do. She responds to other people, so she wants to do things. If you care, they'll do everything. If someone cares for you, they'll do everything. But if someone pulls away from that, that's going to be a problem. What am I going to do? So this causes this confusion around the Neptune, Venus, Mars. It causes confusion around sexuality. It creates poor timing. It creates difficulty in who's loyal and who's reliable and who's not. So who's the real person? Who's the real partner? Who's the person she can trust? And how does she get some self-reliance in the meantime? If she's had people she can't trust, she's, what am I going to do? I got to get some self-reliance. Something I can do brings in money for myself. That suits my style. Okay, we're seeing puzzles. See the pause, you think about it for a bit. We'll build up a caricature of what we think the person is. It's not who they are, but it's a caricature of who they are. And then, so Mercury, Venus, Sun, all in Virgo, the Mars in Gemini, the Jupiter. Okay, Jupiter's in Aries, it directs the Mars, but the Jupiter is in Aries conjunct the Venus, conjunct the Moon. So the knowledge, the teaching, the writing, the storytelling, the adventures around home and around family. There's so many things around home and family. The Moon in the third house, the Jupiter tied into it. It's going to be the Jupiter is going to exaggerate the feelings. So when it's positive, it's going to exaggerate all kinds of places to go. When it's negative, it's going to exaggerate all the problems of all the trouble unseen. The great blues song. The Pluto opposed Moon and Jupiter exaggerating. So there's a fight to understand what was right, what was wrong. When things were probably, and the Uranus, the Jupiter squares Saturn, so that's not a bad aspect. That's ability to have a good sense of timing in business. But both are squared by Uranus. Uranus squares the Saturn, destabilizes the fixed job and stability. It opposes the Jupiter, which means there's radical understandings of traditional things. They get disrupted. They work for fun. They get disrupted. They don't exactly work up. So they have shocks and changes of her outlook in life. And as her outlook changes, her impulses will change. So she believes and trusts in someone, and then they don't live up to it. Then say, what am I doing here? Her outlook will change, and she's going to take impulse and go on things and take off. And at the same time, wondering, when she looks back at the past, look what happened. How do I understand what happened? Okay. Saturn in the seventh house, again, it implies a late marriage or difficulty marriage, or tend to attract a serious or the inhibited person is not giving so much, a little bit more structured, or either there's an age difference or there's a serious side, relationships are serious matters. So relationships bring commitments into her life, but then once she has to make the commitments, is the person reliable? What does she have to do? So if she gives up what she's doing, the job to be with someone, she's instantly in a handicapped situation. So the puzzle can be too isolated, too dedicated on one person, really committed and held in, or more likely, since the Mars, Sun, Venus, Neptune, all immutable signs, too many people, too many choices. How do you know who's real? Where do you really want to be? How can you let anybody down? I'll prove this to you. So if she's in a relationship, she's naturally trying to fix it, trying to make it work. It's her way of responding. If the relationship isn't reliable, or someone's with her and wants more energy, they ignore her, she'll end up thinking something's wrong, Neptune, and thinks she's to blame, and she'll try and do more. And it sets up a one-sidedness that's not fair. That's her sucker clause. Doesn't mean relationships can't have. It just means there's certain veils you have to get rid of, certain layers you don't feed into, but you have to learn that. So already we have someone that knows a couple of languages, has lived in 3 different countries. You have a multicultural person, okay, with a vast understanding and perception on life. Very different, but and a need to express it. So we're concerned about being a writer, about making by writing, money by writing, and that's certainly I mean, everybody in this has been studying astrology and is an astrologer. So she's really written. She's an astrologer, but she's going through my classes and learning. But she's still already really established and written voluminous blogs and things like very lucid and writing about it. It was like the psychologist and the astrologers, that 8th house sun. Her Uranus up in the 9th house is the astrology, the unconventional thinking, the free thinking. It goes against the father thing. It lets her figure out things for herself, but it sits there as an exciting element in her life to that midheaven. And so she's a very expressive and literate person, very communicative and capable of writing really well. It's just the staying power, trying to be fixed at one thing is more of a challenge. And writing is a funny career, like music is a funny career, like acting is a funny career. You can get great things sometimes, but a lot of in between, it's up and down. It's not always a stable life. So my main point here, looking at this, with the strong Mercury, the Sun, Venus in the 8th house, the Moon and Jupiter in the 3rd house, the ability to write and tell stories, that's strong. That's really good. But the Moon wants to start with the stories and put things out. But her Sun and her Mercury and Venus are all setting. It's like she needs feedback. She needs input. She needs the right content. What's she most inclined to write about? The things that went wrong to her. How that was terrible. How she escaped from this. How she got away from that. How she got away from the Pluto. And her rationale and logic around it. So even with the Moon Pluto, sometimes what someone is a single parent. Sometimes someone has a feeling, I don't want to be a parent. Why would I bring a kid into the world? Like what happened? Like there can be blocks around that. So okay, so we have that Uranus up in the 9th house up high. It affects the Saturn and the Jupiter. It changes. It struggles with traditional outlooks. The Pluto is up in the 9th house, so what's right and wrong, it's opposing the Moon. So the principles, there's a challenge to have the right understanding. Once one has the right understanding of something, a good understanding, one has to live up to what's right or wrong around it. Whether Sun, Venus squared by Neptune and the Mars opposed by Neptune, she doesn't want to be blamed. She doesn't want to feel guilty. She blames herself for most things. It's very kind, it's very helpful, but she can be, don't blame her, don't make her feel guilty. But in relationships, that issue would come up to play. But the Pluto is the fight for proper understanding, and it's not going to come from family, the Moon. And the Neptune we talked about, that's the peer pressure and the friends, and the idealism versus the reality, opposing the Mars, Venus, and Sun. Where does she fit in? So she's a multicultural person, doesn't exactly fit in any one place, but can always have somewhere new to go. Okay, that's good enough. Let's put this down here. We'll go through the stories, but we'll pick up the 8-year graph. Here. Easier to read. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Now,